Jen Allen with Life in Broomfield and owner of AIM Realty. And today I am here with Melissa Tumblin, the founder of Ear Community and a Broomfield resident. And I'm excited to share what she does with you. Thanks for letting me come over, Melissa, and
of course.
take over
and
take the time to chat with me. I really appreciate it. So tell us about Ear Community, how you got started. You were very inspirational to me, which is why I wanted to talk with you.
Well, thank you, Jen. My business that I started was after my youngest daughter was born, physically missing her right ear and without an ear canal. So she's deaf in that ear. And, we felt very alone. We couldn't find the answers that we were looking for from many of our doctors. And so I kind of went off and started a Facebook group.
Was it something that your doctor had ever seen even?
No. What my daughter has is a congenital birth defect that's called Microtia. Mm-hmm. Microtia is Latin for little or micro ear. Mm-hmm. And Atresia, in this case, aural atresia, is the absence of an ear canal. Wow. And it's fairly rare. It's about 1 out of 6,000 chances of happening at birth here in the United States, or approximately 500 babies born per year here in the U.S.
It's such a small amount.
Yeah, but what's interesting is there are a lot.
Yeah, I mean, overall it's a lot. But if you are in a community where you don't know anyone else that has had that experience.
Well, it's very interesting because when Allie was born, like I said, we felt very alone, and we weren't told about the typical protocol. Like when you have a child that's born with hearing loss, you don't pass the newborn hearing screening. Okay. And that flags your pediatrician to send you to an audiologist and an ENT to do further checks on hearing. We did get referred, or we didn't pass our... It's kind of confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
But we did not pass the newborn hearing screening, but because Allie had hearing in her left ear, we were told, don't worry about it. She's got one good ear, and that's good enough.
Whoa.
And we thought this was good information. So
we didn't know.
As months went by, I did more research, and I quickly discovered that a unilateral hearing loss is an invisible disability. Okay. Someone who has hearing loss in one ear, they will never, ever be able to hear like we do with two ears in stereo. It's called losing the ability to localize sound. Yeah. And what that means is for everyone who has two good hearing ears, we hear airplanes flying over, we hear leaves rustling in the wind, we hear whispers. If somebody was sneaking up on us, we hear them getting softer to louder. Cars coming down the street, like directional.
Yeah.
And someone with a unilateral hearing loss has lost all of that. Wow. And what was even more interesting, like being told the one good ear is good enough, is we just didn't understand her hearing loss. Because in Allie's case, one good ear was not good enough. She didn't really start speaking till age 3, and which is totally typical of a child with hearing loss. Yeah. So I don't know why we were told different. And she had some speech delays, so we went through speech therapy. But in the beginning, when she was born, with being told it was rare and not being informed of all of our options, we just didn't have a good understanding, and we felt very alone.
Yeah.
So then about 8 months later, Allie was about 8 months old, she suddenly stopped cooing and babbling and became somewhat of a silent baby. And I thought, well, this is odd, because they say don't compare kids.
Right.
I have an older daughter that's all I had to compare to. And I'm like, this is very odd. Yeah. We did not go through any of this. Why is she not talking?
Yeah.
And so I went back online, and in multiple places. There was no one place to find all this information. I started learning about speech delays and risk for being, the risk of having speech delays, early intervention services, which are free regardless of income.
Wow.
They'll come to your home and help you with PT, OT, and speech. Had no idea. I learned about the hearing device that we needed for Allie when we did ask in the beginning. Is there a hearing device that would help her? And we were pretty much told no.
Wow.
Which was shocking, because the technology has been available for like 50 years.
Oh my gosh.
So, and along with that, we found 3 people in our neighborhood that had Microtia and Atresia.
That's amazing.
Yes. for that being so rare.
Yeah.
And so we quickly, met up at coffee and just had heart-to-hearts and all moms like, oh gosh, we're together in this. And I just felt, when I started my Facebook group, within a year, it quickly became global. There were families, over 1,000 people for a rare cause within a year from everywhere. Same story.
Wow.
What is it? What is it called? Why did this happen? Did I do this during my pregnancy?
Isn't that every mother?
Yes, every mother blames themselves because we feel responsible.
Yeah.
And gosh, I just, through all the research, learning more about hearing loss and realizing that why do we not have the answers when we know so much about the ear?
Yeah.
So I grew the support group, started bringing families together because oftentimes, because of HIPAA, doctors cannot give families information. They can't say, oh, here's a list, go have a play date.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yes, it would be amazing.
That's one of the downsides for sure.
But medical legal issues prevent that. Nobody wants to, be responsible or get in trouble. And so through founding Ear Community, a couple years later, we help bring these families together at events, and we educate them on all of their options because we were not told about everything.
Yeah, because there's no one perfect solution for anybody.
Well, and there's no one conference for all the doctors and everybody to go to and, become educated.
Yeah.
So these events are priceless to these families. And we have our sponsors there who are hearing device companies. So everyone is able to try on all of the hearing devices.
Wow.
Because a lot of times if you go to one audiologist, they might only have one brand.
Right.
And so we offer all of them. Our events are free. We provide lunch. It's a day for these kids. It's their day because everyone has the same ears or missing ears. No one's staring. And they're able to play because a lot of children never meet someone often like in their whole life that is just like them with Microtia and Atresia.
Yeah.
I mean, I've spoken with so many adults over the years of doing this. I've been doing this for almost a decade.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yes. And they're just like, I've never met someone just like me.
Yeah.
And even the parents, the families, they're able to share experiences.
Yeah.
We have face painters, balloon makers, a magician. It's about the kids. We give the adults opportunities to be role models. And on top of that, it's an educational day. These families walk away informed. And we have a lot of the top plastic surgeons and medical professionals that join our picnics. And they just mingle with the families. It's a very relaxed environment. And, most importantly, there are the stories that we take away from our events. They're so rewarding.
Yeah.
We'll have children that will try on hearing devices where maybe the families think they're doing fine. And it turns out maybe they're not. Children do not always tell us everything.
No, they not.
Don't share everything with us. And they'll put on a hearing device and tear up because they'll hear their parents say a whisper, like,
oh my.
And they'll look and say, I heard you. And the parents are crying tears of joy just because it was a little bit of a reality check.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know. And these children and adults who have unilateral hearing loss or with Microtia and Atresia, they've gone their whole lives hearing with one ear.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're missing.
Yeah.
They don't know what a cricket sounds like squeaking. Like we're like, oh, stupid cricket.
They would love.
They don't even hear it. And when they do with like say a hearing device, and this is a true story by the way, a woman was hearing a squeaking sound at work. She just got her hearing aid, the kind that Allie wears and all these individuals.
Yeah.
Which is called a bone conduction hearing device. And for 15 minutes on her lunch break, she was snooping around the whole refrigerator and freezer in the break room trying to find what that squeaking was. And lo and behold, discovered it was a cricket. She never heard what a cricket sounded like.
What to look for.
Yeah, she had no idea. And she cried,
oh my gosh.
And one of the other just most rewarding feelings that we get, and it's all members within the organization, is not just getting to meet each other, but the kids. We have had children where, say for little girls, for example, somebody might say, oh, well, it's a good thing they have long hair. They can cover their ears. We're not really trying to get them to hide themselves. We want them to love and accept themselves.
All of them.
And so at many of our events, little girls will show up with their hair down, and then later on their moms will say, oh my gosh, Megan's wearing a ponytail. She's never worn her hair up. But because she saw other little girls and boys like her, she has this newfound confidence. And just realizes, you know, oh, I'm not different. Mm-hmm. And then with our organization, we've done many things. So we've presented at the FDA during a listening session. We were invited to just educate FDA members about what it's like to live with Microtia and Atresia, and how some of the options today we wish just could be better. Yeah. We have advocated on Capitol Hill in DC for trying to get hearing device coverage mandated. These hearing devices, the bone conduction hearing devices, are not covered by insurance.
Wow.
And these are thousands of children and adults that are being discriminated against. They just, I mean, every medical professional learns during their schooling about the critical years of development. Yes. Birth to 3 or birth to 5. It's when your language and vocabulary skills are coming in. And when a child can't hear, you've got to help them to hear as soon as possible. Yeah. And that's a key point in their life. They're like little sponges. And when you can't get them aided, they fall behind. Yeah. And they start developing speech delays. And the ironic part of it is children and adults who are candidates for cochlear implants oftentimes are completely covered by insurance, and traditional hearing aids as well, covered, aged 2 months, you know, and up. Yeah. But our individuals in our community, they wear a traditional hearing aid. There's no ears to wear it on. There's no canal to put anything in. Yeah. And we do not have the same type of hearing loss that is that a candidate would be for a cochlear implant. Yeah. We need a specific hearing device. And so we've been really trying to advocate as a community, as a group, as an organization, trying to help get that mandated. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, and you know, it's
that's what's so inspiring to me.
Oh, well,
it's a lot of work.
It is, but oftentimes when a company comes out with a product or a nonprofit starts up, it's because of a passion. Yeah. Something happened. And in our experience, it was, and we didn't even know it at the time, just misinformation. Yeah. And then when I realized what we weren't being told or informed about, I couldn't deal with it. Yeah. So I took and fueled, you know, all those feelings of frustration and just not understanding why is this like this? And I just poured it into what became the support group, then the website, launching the nonprofit, and where we are today. Yeah. And, you know, it's just, nothing happens overnight and nothing's easy. And it really does take blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. But where there's a will, there's a way. And when you're very passionate about something, you take it as far as you can go. Yeah. And so we even have a National Awareness Day, which is November 9th. 9 is the shape of an ear.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that's why you picked that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. And doctors and medical professionals, audiologists, speech therapists, teachers of the deaf, they get behind this day. Yes. And it's a day where families and schools will educate. They'll come with their child that may have Microtia and Atresia, even just hearing loss. Yeah. And talk about what a hearing aid is. Yes. Maybe even bring eyeglasses or other things that children end up wearing that somebody might question and say, why do you need that? What is that for? And we'll talk about kindness and accepting differences. And it's a day for just the children, really, and adults. Yeah. And to just be kind, you know. Yeah. We're an anti-bullying organization. Yeah. And it hurts.
It doesn't take a lot to be kind.
Yeah.
It actually takes a lot more energy.
They say there's a lot more muscles to frown and be mean than to just smile. Yeah. It's just, you know, and so we always try to just help educate, promote public awareness in hopes that the next time somebody sees a child or an adult with any kind of a facial challenge, that maybe they will have heard about it, maybe have learned a little bit about it, kind of neutralize it. Yeah. And next time when you see someone, just say hi.
Yeah, just like you would to anyone else.
And you will make that person's day.
I think that's one of the things I love about our kids' elementary school is the inclusivity of it, because we have the deaf and hard of hearing program there, and I think it does help with empathy and understanding, but also just realizing that everybody's different.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And we can all still have fun together. It doesn't change anything.
You can still have friends, and at the same time, when our children grow up, they can still be doctors, artists, musicians.
Yeah.
They can still be whoever they want.
Yeah.
You know, they don't ever have to let their struggle or challenge define them.
Yeah.
And I know that goes across the board for so many other challenges that kids have today.
It does. I think it's wonderful what you're doing, and it's so
you.
Exciting that you've been called to two.
Yeah.
What about people want to reach out about your community?
Sure.
What is the best way for them to reach out to find more information, to donate? Because I'm sure that you are always welcoming donations.
Yes.
What's the best way for them to find out more?
So there are many ways. Oftentimes people within the community are looking for nonprofits to volunteer with.
Yes.
Or to help find a way to give back to the community. And ours deals with hearing loss and children with facial challenges. So, for example, during our event, we're always looking for volunteers to help us. We host what we call family picnics, and I've hosted them all over the nation, about 7 to 8 events per year. And they always happen during the summer, so it's a lot right in a row. And we've also hosted events in other countries, too. Yeah. And so we're always looking for volunteers at those events. And then any nonprofit, they always welcome donations. 100% of our proceeds go right back to the organization.
Wonderful.
We have, as an organization, since 2012, we have donated over 100 new hearing devices to the needy.
Wow.
And that is a lot, especially for a small organization.
Yeah.
And again, we've donated to the needy nationwide and in many other countries.
Yeah.
And we award college scholarships. We, of course, pride ourselves on our events because they're priceless.
Yeah.
And really, the service programs that our organization offers is just really being able to have that opportunity to reach out to other families just like ours, and be able to connect with them one-on-one, email, phone, in person, meetups. We even host a global Secret Santa exchange for the kids.
How fun.
So, there's just a whole lot of things that we do, and really just educating and letting these families know that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Your children are going to be fine, and if you're worried, here's all this information that can help you.
Yeah.
Until your heart is content.
So would they go to your Facebook page or your website? What is the...
So our website is earcommunity.org.
Okay.
And we do have a secure link there where people can donate. And anyone with hearing loss, they don't have to have Microtia and Atresia, but they can educate themselves. It's packed full of information. And then we have a Facebook support group page. It's called the Microtia and Atresia support group. Okay. Plain and simple, exactly what it is. And Facebook's great. You can do a fundraiser there.
Yeah.
And again, all the proceeds go to the nonprofits from Facebook. Yeah. They've been great.
That's wonderful.
And then we're also one of the nonprofits, the local nonprofits for Colorado that participate in Giving Tuesday and Colorado Gives Day. Yeah. So we're listed.
Awesome.
And in order to be listed on all these things, you have to be in good standing.
Yeah.
So we care.
Yes. It's important to know.
Yeah. So and they can always mail a check to our P.O. box too. And so that information is on our website too. But we're Ear Community. I would say Ear Community. And we love what we do. And there was nothing like it before Ear Community came about. So we've literally helped thousands of people all over the world. And like I said, it's been very rewarding, but there were things I didn't realize would be involved when I started a nonprofit, such as there are individuals out there who are really struggling with the way they look and how they feel about themselves. And so we do try and help young to older teens and adults who are really depressed
Yeah.
And try to just remind them that, you aren't alone and you have all of us, and we try to connect them with other children and adults their age.
Yeah.
So they have someone to talk to. And one of our groups on Facebook is a pen pal group.
Oh,
so we have it all. We just want
so
everyone.
Much.
Yeah, we just want everyone to have a friend and to just be happy.
Yeah.
No one asks for these challenges that we have or acquire throughout life. And you just have to make the most out of life. And what helps is kind people and a great circle of friends.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you have done wonderful work, and I know you're going to continue to grow and find even more ways to help people. And I'm so glad that we met, and I'm so glad you're part of our Broomfield community. And I really appreciate you taking the time to share with us, and then we'll share you with everybody.
Oh, well, thank you.
You never know who's looking.
We always like to, welcome and help promote anyone in our community too, our community friends.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thanks, Melissa.
Yeah, Jen.
If you guys want to know any more information about Ear Community, you can go to earcommunity.org. And also under this video, there'll be a link where you can find more information and links to their Facebook group. I believe I'll be able to put that on there, and website. Thank you so much.